Hey folks, welcome back to Good Enough Customs. So today we're going to work on the Blazer. It's been a couple months. I think I remember saying something about I'm gonna be busy for a couple months and the Blazer's just gonna have to go on the back burner while I do other things, and that definitely held true. So here we are, the very last day of July, as a matter of fact, and fixing to get cracking on this guy. So you know, pretty much any flat surface in a shop or a garage is going to turn into a storage area. I know I've said this before. It's definitely true. I just started throwing like all my old cardboard back here, and then there's also parts to the truck back here and all this other stuff. So I got to get all this crap cleaned out. But I think today we're going to try and focus on getting this rear floor, the bed floor, removed. At least figuring it out. I don't know if it'll actually get started today or not, because short time frame. But if I can at least figure it out, because I'm looking at this going, I got nothing. It's a pretty big job, and I don't want to get in here and screw something up. So I want to get in here and actually take my time, figure out how this bed floor is connected. I know it's got bolts up front. The replacement panels I have just kind of stacked over here for the meantime. Well, they are flanged, but that looks like, I honestly, I'm not sure. This guy could go really either way, but I would guess the flange side goes down. But again, I don't know. So it's supposed to be a direct replacement, so we'll see. So I think what I'm going to do real quick is get some of this crap out of the bed of this Blazer, and take a look at one of these pans and see if we can't figure out what's going on and how all this stuff lays out. So I'll get on that and check back up here in just a minute. Well, that's a whole lot better now. The you know how it goes. You start stacking crap in. It only took 2 months of this guy sitting and pretty much had the whole bed of this thing full. Now, granted, the biggest part of it is, you know, my stack of cardboard over there. You know, boxes are good to kind of have around to, you know, put stuff in. And if you need some cardboard for templates, endless template material right there. So, anyways, so this is all good and clear. I'll still probably run the vacuum, the shop vac, just to kind of get up some of the bits of rust. I mean, there's a big pile right over here. And then there's just some, you know, crap laying around. So probably get all that done. That way, whenever I go to cutting and moving and doing, it won't be such a mess up underneath the truck. So, but we're not going to be worrying about the bed pan. Not bedpan, bed floor. We're not going to worry about that right now up here. So for right now, we're headed down south. We're going up underneath this guy, and I want to get an idea of where all the cross members are, and maybe try and figure out how this freaking bed floor attaches, because honestly, I'm not sure. I knew kind of how the front was attached. A lot of spot welds. Lots of spot welds. So, but the rear pan, I don't see a lot of spot welds. I do see on that very front edge, there's a boatload of freaking bolts. I'm guessing that's not the only thing holding this piece in. So, and then looking at those guys, you know, there's flanges on those. And I looked at it a little bit closer. The flanges actually go down. So I don't know if the factory floor has a flange that bends down. But we're going to find that out here in just a second. So I guess I'll see y'all guys up underneath this truck here in a second. All right, well, let's see if we can't find a good spot to set up here. So we've got quite a few cross members here. We've got Got a cross member right there. Man, this is not going to be a good time. So we got a cross member right here, and this guy goes clear out over to here. You can see that little hole. Should be able to see it. There is a bolt here, and there's a hole there. And that hole is the one up top that I'm waiting to fix before I fix this corner on the pans, floor pans. So we've got this front cross member that runs all the way across over there. We've got this cross member. I'm not sure how it's attached. I'm sure it's probably spot welded on every single rib. We've got that cross member. Same thing. We've got the bed mount area, and I did not even look at the other one to see if it's reinforced or not. Probably not reinforced. So I'm probably gonna have to pull the reinforcement plates off. We've also got these wonderful, the cups for the rear seat. Those look to be tacked in, so I have to drill those guys out, and then after that cross member right there, we're clear all the way to the back tail panel where, yep, meets up with another cross member. But if we look right here, I'll see if I can't get the camera up here. If you look right there, you can see, and if you look right there, you can see, if I'm not blocking the light, you can see there's a line right here. This piece appears to be the bed floor. This piece appears to be just the wheel well. So I'm guessing there's just a boatload of spot welds right there. So this may end up being a little bit more involved than I was hoping. But good Lord, let's see. Appears as though there's a bolt there. There is a bolt there. And that's about all I'm seeing at the moment. So I wonder, I don't even know how to get this thing out. I don't want to go crazy with the cutoff wheel and start cutting cross members up. That's no bueno. But I wonder if I can't basically cut the center out. Cut around the edges. Oh man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on this one. Try to figure this out. If y'all guys know a better way to do this, let me know, because I mean, other than just getting at this with cutoff wheel and just kind of getting at it, that's about all I got right now. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this one, see if we can figure this out. So all right, I'll catch back up here in a minute. I guess the next course of action is I'm going to take and go ahead and start hitting all those bolts along the front edge. I got some freeall sitting right there. There's some bolts on the outside edge of the wheel wells here. There's a flange inside the wheel well that it bolts up to. So I'm going to go ahead and start unbolting those, or at least getting them soaking. I'm going to soak these bolts for the seatbelt mounts, because those look terrible. And go ahead and try to just basically get all the bolts soaking, so that maybe they'll break loose and I'm not snapping the heads off of everything. And then coming back here to this back edge, I did find there is a spot weld there, and I'm guessing there's a spot weld probably at least in most of these. Some of these I'm probably not gonna have to worry about too much because that's pretty damn rusty, so that'll probably pop right off. So my thought is, if I pull the wheel wells out, I gotta cut all that seam seal out, which that sucks. But I gotta cut the seam seal out on all those. I gotta go all the way around the edge and get all the seam seal out that's still there. And I think what I may end up doing is once the wheel wells are out of the way and I get all the bolts out that I can find, then what I'll probably end up doing is trying to figure out where I can cut here and just cut this back across the, cut it across so I'm not getting into any cross member, and try to pull this out in one piece. I don't know if that's gonna work or not, but that's kind of where I'm at, is if I can get this whole bed out in one piece, that'll make working on it a little bit easier. If I can get the floor out. Worst case, I may have to cut up and along the edges, right in through here, and then right along, right here, which that won't be much of a challenge because there ain't a whole lot of material left there. But take and just kind of cut out where I need to, and then basically make the work area a little bit smaller, not quite as intimidating. The cross members that go across this floor, there's what, 3 or 4 of them that go across. Those guys are attached to the floor, so I figure I can take and pull all that stuff out and pull them off separate, get everything ready to go, and then tack those guys back in. I'm not really sure. I'm just kind of winging it here, so we'll see how this turns out. So I guess I'm gonna get to it and wish me luck. Well, I think that's all the bolts, at least the ones I can find. So let that soak in for a bit, and I guess moving on. Now these guys have had a little bit of time to soak in, so we'll see about how difficult they're going to be. Was easy enough. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. I know I said it before, but the easiest way to keep up with your stuff, just get some, I use quart size Ziploc bags, great value Ziploc bags, whatever you want to call it. And then just, mark it with what it is. So these are bed floor bolts for the K5, so they're all going in here. And that way I can keep up with them. Now I just got to do the other side. So I'll do that and I'll catch back up in just a couple minutes. All right, folks, so we got to get the seam seal out. And seam seal, sometimes you can get it off with a good scraper. This is not a great scraper. It does an okay job. But you can kind of dig at it a little bit, and it kind of works, but it's not working that well. And I just did a little test patch because I just wanted to make sure, but put a little heat to it. Doesn't take a lot. Well, didn't mean to set it on fire, but put a little heat to it and it comes up like butter. So that comes up okay. I'll have to get a little sharper scraper in here to really get down in there, but I think for the most part this will do it to at least get, you know, the big chunks off, because that stuff's thick in some spots. But got to go through, got to do all this seam seal. So we got seam seal running all the way around the wheel wells, on top of the wheel wells, seam seal over in this little corner, seam seal over in that little corner, seam seal over in that little corner, and back over in this little corner. So that's a lot of hands and knees. Heat it up, scrape it, heat it up, scrape it, rinse and repeat. So it's going to be a long and miserable job, that one I'm not really looking forward to. So I'll probably work on that for just a little bit. I think I'm gonna save the bulk of it for Jackson though. Let him enjoy some working on his Blazer. So, but I've got to get these damn seat belts out. The bolt's just, it's gone. You can't get a socket on it. This one is pretty rough, as you can see. It's there ain't much left there. That side over there is even worse. It's actually egg-shaped. So I'm not sure how that happened, but it's egg-shaped. And then I got that little bracket right behind the seat belt over there. That's for the seat, for the flip action on the seat. I think it actually holds the cable. I think there's a cable that goes on that to keep it from going too far forward. There's so much scale and rust around that guy. I don't know if there's any other bolts there. It's that bad over there. But I guess I'm gonna get working on some of this seam seal, try to get some of this stuff peeled off for now, and maybe here in a minute, if I get to the point where I need to, I'll cut the head off of this bolt for the seat belt over here so I can get back there and get that seam seal cut out. So all right, not looking forward to it. I guess it's all part of it, so get into it. So, as you can tell, the heat does get it moving along pretty good. So that's probably, I don't know, 7-8 minutes worth of work. And I got, you know, this section cleared out. Getting up there where these little supports are, these are for the trim pieces, you know, the backer board, whatever you want to call it, that goes along through here. Probably going to have to pull those off just so I can get in there. But yeah, so this is pretty much, this is the name of the game, to get out the that seam seal. I want to say I saw Eastwood had a tool specifically for this. Of course Eastwood does. Those guys, they make tools, specialty tools for everything. But I don't know the cost on it, if they even make it. I want to say I saw that somewhere. It may have been Mortsky. I want to say he did a floor pan replacement, and he had a little, you know, tool for that. But If I remember right, it's just got a little, you know, it's kind of a V shape, and it just gets down in that little gap, and you just run it along, and it's super sharp, and it just cuts it right out. But I'm not buying a tool specifically for this because I don't really plan on ever doing this again. So I'd rather not spend the money on a tool that I'm only going to use one time. Hopefully just one time, because floors, not a fan. But so I guess I'm going to get working on the back, trying to get that stuff done. The unfortunate side is in order to keep my shop kind of moving and be able to pull Steve in when I need to, I've got the truck on the dollies, which gives it another, you know, 3 or 4 inches of height. So I mean, this thing is stomach high, so it's a little bit of a reach to get in there, so I'll have to get on hands and knees and do that. And I'm an old fat guy. I don't really feel like climbing around on my knees. They probably won't be able to take it, so I'll let the young blood get in there and do all this stuff. He'll be loving life, I tell you. But so I guess I'm gonna move on with that. Down the road, we'll film it. You know, I guess I'm gonna get these damn seat belts out. They got to come out. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do real quick. Alright, so seatbelt's out, and that's out of the way now, so I can get in here and get all this seam seal out. This side, pretty much same thing. Just going to have to cut this head off because, my God, it is just bad. And then this little guy, what a mess. So you can see I guess that's the catch for the cable. That's all busted to pieces. And I think there's a couple bolts down in here somewhere, but that is a mess. So I'm not sure what we're going to do here, but I'll figure that one out. So I guess I'm going to get to cutting this guy out here in just a few, and I'll catch back up with y'all here in just a few minutes. First, I got to go get a towel, because it's humid again. Yay! So we'll catch up here in a minute. All right, folks, so just a quick recap, as I'm running out of time today. I've got to get in and get to editing on this thing. But just a quick recap on what I've done so far and what I believe is the way to get these floors out. The bed floor, the bed pan. I'm so full of shit sometimes. Anyways, so this is the way I think that the bed floor is gonna come out. I could be completely wrong, but like I said, I've checked online. I can't find anything on how these freaking bed floors come out. The best way to pull them, the best way to cut them out. You know, there's not a whole lot of information about that, which is insane, because freaking K5 Blazers, people love these things. I know I do. I've always loved them. I think I've had 2 or 3 of them, but I can't find any info on how to get that rear floor out. So it's just kind of shooting from the hip, figuring it out for yourself. So hopefully y'all guys can, you know, utilize this, and you know, you won't be, you know, lost as last year's Easter egg as, you know, as I am. So so it looks like the way it works is pull these front bolts out, cut your seam seal out, which there's a lot of that to do. Probably take a couple hours to get that all knocked out. I'm about out of propane, so I got to pick up some propane and some Sawzall blades, because I think what I'm going to end up doing is, for the rear, I'm just going to cut in front of the cross member, and it may have to be cut up here too. So I don't know if this is also spot welded, but I know it's at least bolted. I think it's just bolted. But I gotta get some more propane so we can get the seam seal out of here. You know, But you got spot welds back here. At least there's one that I see. The rest of them are probably hidden in rust. But, you know, I'm guessing there's some spot welds back here to hold this guy on. Get that guy out. Of course, you got to take your seat belts out, which I've still got to cut that head off of that bolt over there. And then that bracket for the tumble seat. That thing, it is so bad. I don't know what I'm going to do there. It may just stay with it. I don't know. I've also got to pull off this filler neck, but that guy, I've got to get a new one because this one is just eat up. I mean, you can see all the holes right there. It's just chewed to pieces. So I got to get that guy pulled off. And then once the bed floor is out, these tail panels tend to rot pretty bad, mainly because this is where the water goes and it just sits. Also, directly behind the tires, whenever that stuff gets kicked up from the tire, you know, mud, dirt, you know, whatever, that's going to hold moisture. And that's right back here. There's a lip somewhere in this neighborhood. And it doesn't take much for that, you know, that crap to get shoved up underneath, especially these ribs. So once that gets up underneath there, it builds up moisture, holds moisture, and then starts rotting. So you can kind of see this guy bows a little bit, probably because there's a lot of scale and rot up underneath this guy. So I'm probably going to have to do some repair here on the tail panel. And unfortunately, I have the exact same thing over here where it's bowed up right in there. And I've actually got a couple holes. There's a hole there. There's a hole over here. I thought I saw another one, but anyways. So I'm going to have to do some repair on this tail panel. I know I'm going to have to do some repair on that front panel, mainly because how rotted all this is, there's definitely going to be water stuck, you know, rust up underneath this. This is part of the tail, this header panel for the bed floor. So I mean, there's already, you know, a hole there, pretty significant one. So I've got to get that all cut out, get that patched up, figure out where else I'm goobered up here and get that patched up. But as far as getting the floor out, bolts, a couple spot welds across the back is what it looks like. You've got to get the seat belts out. You've got, let's see, up here under the wheels, the wheel wells, you've got these bolts that go in all the way across. Then you've also got this little strut bar, this little support, and this is the support for this piece. You got to get that guy out, and then there's another bolt somewhere right here. And okay, here's the strut bar. But you got those guys to get out. So those guys have to come out. You have to cut all that seam seal out, which, like I said, probably take a couple hours to get that out if you're lucky. Let's see. Got to pull that guy, and then this floor should come back, you know, come on out. So, and then once the floor comes out, then you can look at your rust on the tail panel, on that header panel. The supports that are on this guy, it doesn't look like they're tied into anything but the floor. Probably just to give it some rigidity. The ribs are going to be there to give it rigidity, but those guys are probably in there just to kind of give it a little bit more. And there's 3 of those guys, you know, separated, you know, down through the way. So anyhow, this is going to be a big project. I know I've got a few things coming up over the next couple weekends. It's going to keep me pretty tied up on the weekend, non-vehicle related, unfortunately. There was actually a show I really wanted to go to this weekend, but I'm on call, so I can't leave, you know, the area. But it was up in Kentucky. It was the first annual shop truck meet, car show, truck show, something like that. I can't remember, but it was up in Cave City, Kentucky. I was just like, oh yeah, that'd be a really good one. You know, Steve is made for that. So I really wanted to go to that, but like I said, on call, couldn't quite leave. You know, drive 2 hours away. So that didn't happen. But over the next couple weekends, I've got some non-related vehicle stuff to do. That's not going to let me work here in the shop a whole bunch. So I'm going to try and get stuff done during the week. After work, come home and get out here and just, you know, try to get a little bit done every night. You know, it's kind of like eating an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So I'll probably get back out here tomorrow and start working a little bit more on this. Maybe even a little bit later today, I can get Jackson out here and we can get started on getting, you know, the seam seal crap out. Still got to cut that head off of that bolt over there. But yeah, a lot to do. And October's coming quick. He turned 16 in October. This is supposed to be his first vehicle. I don't know if it's gonna make it. Maybe I need to find him another project to drive. No, can't do that. But anyhow, so I hate it that this week's video is a little short and there's not a whole lot going on. It's kind of a mishmash of things. So, you know, I hate that that's happened. But, I mean, coming out to this shop yesterday and trying to get any work done, it was just, oh my God, it was so miserable. I was out here for maybe 30, 45 minutes and I'd already soaked completely through my shirt. And my shorts. Everything was just dripping wet. And hell, I couldn't even slide around on the floor. I was sitting on the floor trying to do something. I couldn't scoot because everything was so freaking damp from all the humidity. It was so miserable yesterday. But I do appreciate y'all guys watching. If you haven't liked the video yet, go ahead and hit the like button. There's going to be a lot more of this to come. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And that way you can keep tabs on what all's going on with this K5 that's not real rusty on the outside, but real rusty on the inside. So anyhow, thank y'all guys for watching. It means a ton. So just remember, guys and gals, it ain't got to be perfect. Just good enough. We'll talk to y'all later.